Okay. Well,
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Angelica wants a 30-second warning, so 30 seconds.
I need about 20.
Oh,
Okay.
20 seconds.
I'll get it.
Today's our first live stream. We have more, we already have 2 people out here.
One of them is a library person. Oh, no. Oh, so it's just it's a library staff and a board member. We did it.
That's okay. Be easy.
With caution and with the general consent of the members present, a member may make an appearance at a regular meeting by telephone and vote on any such matter coming before the library board at such meeting. Such appearance will not towards relation. So I'm sorry, if you have a warrant, you have somebody appear by phone, but in the absence, really one. With caution and with the general consent of the members present, a member may make an appearance at a regular meeting by telephone and vote on any such matter coming before the library board at such meeting.
Have to mute it.
Okay, I will go ahead and call the meeting of the Library Advisory Board to order. First of all, I'll start with the ethics reminder. In accordance with State Government Ethics Act, the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest and so since we don't have a quorum this evening, it'll be more of a discussion since we can't vote on anything. Yes, we'll have to pass on the approval of minutes. We'll pass it over to Angelica if there's any public comment. No public comment. Turn things over to Jean.
Hi. Welcome to the hearing. Evening. My name is Jamie McDowell. I'm the branch manager here. A little bit of background on me. I've been with the library system since 2012. I started out at the Quincy Library with the children. And then I moved over here in capacity in 2016. I guess the work that I do that outside of my responsibilities for the building, I'm a member of the production development team for the county, so you guys are tasked with the similar. Where box when you have your meeting. Another thing that I do for the library system as a whole, I'm the grandfather and project manager of our device lending program. But something that we began in the early days of the pandemic, when we were closed to the public or open for very limited hours, we were able to secure the funding to loan back to our library patrons for free. Since the pandemic ended, we have shut down the laptop. Only part of that program, but we continue to loan devices as part of our state of service to community. So I continue to manage that program. And then here at Fairview, I don't know if any of you have been to this library before. If you haven't, I'd love to give you a tour at some point or invite you out to a lot of the programs that we do. But Fairview is just a delightful library. And it's a delightful community to serve. As you know, it's a more rural, more farming-based community. There's not really like a cultural center out here, so we have the unique opportunity to hold some of that space for the community, and the community takes a lot of advantage of that. We have a really popular Tuesday night speaker series that we do monthly, September to May. We cover your classic array of library topics from crafting and gardening to history and storytellers and local authors, and it's incredibly well attended. We've even had really big names come out, like Sheila K. Adams and David Holt. We've got a really great partnership with church that's just up on the Scrappy Hill behind the library. But whenever we do bigger events, they allow us to use their space that way. We also do a lot of multi-generational programming out here. One of our surprisingly favorite program that we've got recently is Beacon. My children's librarian and I hosted together, and the prizes are terrible, and the jokes are words, and it's really fun. We're ready to take this show on the road and like tour all the senior centers and community centers in Putnam County with bingo. I didn't know, like, one thing that's great about it is that I have no idea how to host bingo, and so proud of teaching us how to host bingo. As we go along, I think I think got it down. Some serious bingo players, we found them like 85, 95, people turn out for bingo. So that's a fun thing we do, and we also host the online only or exclusively online book club for the county. We're doing a little rebrand right now. Instead of calling it online book club, we're going to call it bookmarks. We've created a rebrand of that. That also runs September through May. And then on staff, we're really lucky to have one of the most experienced children's librarians in the county here. Jennifer's been in the county for 20+ years, and she brings just a wealth of knowledge and joy to the job, and it's wonderful at what she does. Just last Friday, we hosted a phone party in our parking lot for 130 of our closest friends and neighbors. And week from tomorrow, we'll be hosting the 12th annual Nancy Gala. I don't know if you're familiar with what character creates Nancy, but sure would be delighted to tell you that Gala is a Nancy character party. And that's what this event is. Kind of a festival type atmosphere, and inside, outside, everywhere in the library, we just have sort of craft stations and encourage people to dress up. And we haven't actually done the gala event since COVID, so we're excited to bring that piece of it back. What else can I tell you? Oh, I brought, if you want to take a look, I brought our Welcome to Fairview brochure, our summer schedule of events, and some flyers for some of our upcoming programs. And I have dual motivation for that. One is that I hope you come out and clean up for some of the stuff we do here. And my second motivation is that I have a really incredible self-taught graphic designer on my staff who designs all of these materials for us, and they're just beautiful. So I wanted to brag on her and show off some of her. And then as far as future planning, we always have like this metaphorical vision board going to Fairview with way too many things on it. But one of the things, or a couple of the things that we're talking about more than others are a kind of redesign, reimagine of some of the spaces. This space is one of them. You're looking at the extent of our technology in this room, which is that projector screen. And then our youth services area, we're looking to create more of an inspiring space there. The building is about 24 years old, and so is the furniture, so time for a refresh. And then our green space is also, we're really blessed to have a lot of you who want to figure out how we can utilize it. So we're in the research part of that right now. Before any of that happens, we're looking at the audits in the buildings so we can figure out how to best meet the needs of all of the members of our community. And I think the other thing that we're future planning is our increasing our services and programs to older adults. We're getting ready to start conversations with folks at Age Friendly Income, which is part of the HHS. Utilize their knowledge and their expertise of what they're already doing in the county, figuring out the ways that the library. Want to ask any questions? I'm happy to answer them. Happy to show you the library. And
I guess I have one question. Well, so this is my first time coming here, and you talking about like improving the green space. Has there ever been any discussion about the signage outside? Because that is, I pulled it, I was like, I think that's library, but it's like you'd see like it's happening. But yeah.
the roadside visibility is not great. And it's interesting that you asked that because we were recently approached like a week or two ago by one of the board members of the Fairview Young Writer, which is like the monthly local paper out here, and they're interested in exploring ways they can get back to the community. And one of the things they're brainstorming is a sign for the library. We do have a sign there.
Yes.
You can't see it coming from town, because it's covered up by overgrowth and foliage. You can see it going to town a little bit better, but they're interested in, I don't know if you noticed, but flying by the perch out there, it's really lovely and handcrafted. Maybe creating something like that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really cute. I love to get into it.
Was this building built around the same time as North? I just find it.
Same,
I think it's the same architect,
the same architect.
around the same time, or maybe a year later than one.
The same, I've come to this branch many times, and every time I spoke with you, that's this for sure.
The entry line is on the fire,
Yeah.
just past the residues, yeah. Yeah, the roadside visibility, and that's one of the things that we talked about increasing, and then also because there's been so much development in this part of the county. Figuring out a way to kind of let folks know that are new here, that we're here.
Yeah.
Fairview has for the longest time been made up of a lot of multi-generational families and farming families, and they're still here, but they're talking about a new here that if you don't drive past the sign, if you're not necessarily looking for a library, you don't know we're here and figuring out.
Thank you. I'm excited about your events. And over to you, Jason, for the director's report.
All right, I've got some interesting updates for you. So to start things off, just let everybody know that we successfully transitioned into the new fiscal year. As part of our approved budget request from Buncombe County, that did include funding for 7 new positions and the conversion of a part-time position to full-time. There were also some additional part-time positions who that saw their hours increased to help make up for the loss of the library pages. Which leads me to my next update. So as of June 30th, we no longer have any library pages as part of our library workforce. That was the next stage of implementation of the staffing plan. And so of those 7 new positions, 6 are newly approved as library assistants to help with branch services and operations. And then one of the full-time positions is a library safety associate. That position will be based out of Pack Memorial Library. We got approval to hire that when we get to the halfway mark, so we won't have that posted and hired until after January. But the hope there is that that position will be able to provide some support and assistance and referrals and intervention at PAC for a lot of the visitors that are there. Just as a general reminder, our summer learning program is in full swing and keeps on trucking through the end of August. So if you've got someone in your family or household, 18 or under, please encourage them to participate. There's a great downloadable full activity sheet. We may still have some print copies at some of our branches, but they only have to complete 4 of the activities to get their prize for summer learning. Very brief facilities update. Haven't had any major changes or movement on projects since our last meeting, but we do have completed paving projects at Eka, Weaverville, North Buncombe, and South Buncombe libraries.
Sorry, what was it again?
Eka, Weaverville, North Buncombe, South Buncombe.
North Asheville.
North Asheville, I'm sorry. I said North. There's not a North Buncombe.
There's a North Buncombe.
Right.
We only know
North Asheville.
You go Weaverville North and then I watch.
South Buncombe.
One thing that we're very excited about as part of our efforts to have more accessible services and also improve the efficiency of our operation staffing, we'll be launching a platform for online meeting room bookings. So community members will be able to make their own bookings, transition us away from pen and paper records and hopefully endless phone calls. We don't have a public launch date for that yet, but right now we're in the process of getting everything ready behind the scenes. IT is getting things, the vendor is going to provide training. So we look forward to launching that and announcing it officially sometime after the summer. I have a little bit of preliminary statistical information to share. we're also in that time of year where we start to work on the state library's annual survey, and so there's a lot of statistical information that is gathered. I'm pleased to tell you that our circulation total for just physical items for last fiscal year was almost 1.2 million. And of those, we do a very high volume of materials that are coming and going to other systems as part of the consortium. So last fiscal year, we sent out 41,985 items to other member libraries in the Youth Cardinal system. So tremendous amount of materials being moved to our system on a daily basis. I think it's also kind of indicative of how important the consortium is for offering really broad and diverse collection to our patrons. And one other brief statistical note, I will plan to share more thorough statistical information with you when we have some of that. These are a couple highlights I want to mention. And Tammy actually just shared with me the Wi-Fi use statistics for last fiscal year, and it increased by 64% over the previous year for a total of 1,809,599 Wi-Fi use sessions. A really interesting project that has been officially launched since our last meeting is a partnership between the Friends of the Black Mountain Library, Black Mountain Greenways and Trails Committee, Black Mountain Beautification Committee, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Arbor Health Bed and Breakfast. And that is the GROW Trail. GROW stands for Greenways Read Out Loud Walking Trail. And that project involves, there's a walking path around Lake Tomahawk Park in Black Mountain, so all the way around the lake. And there are stations all around it, and each station has a nice professionally printed spread from a regional author's children's book. So the one that is on there right now, it's called Hiding in Plain Sight. It's by Asheville author Cindy Gross. And it was Melissa Presley, the branch manager there, who really spearheaded that project. There were also some funds donated by some local community members in honor of a family member to get that kickstarted. Really cool thing about it is that the panels can be changed. So the hope is that on a somewhat regular basis, we'll be able to feature different authors there, different regional books. And in between certain stations, there are literacy activities, things to encourage imagination, conversation, reading related and reading developmental support activities. So anything from looking up to the clouds to imagining what type of creatures might roam Lake Tomahawk. It's really beautifully done and a great project. So if you have a chance to go out there with or without a young person, all ages can enjoy the story and explore the story trail there.
How were the first couple chosen?
Melissa and the friends they identified the author, and because she was local, she was willing to provide to allow the reproduction rights and work with them to get it enlarged and everything.
So we're in marketing as one of the nicest experiences association, and we worked with the county in Tennessee and also the national park to set up a sort of trail of the Smokies. And so they've done a little bit of, that too, like in their books. They actually just had one where it was a book that was a Cherokee book. And so they had on the boards, they had translations in English and in, I remember the Cherokee language, but it was really cool.
Very cool. And my last update on behalf of the Library Trust Fund Board, they had their regular meeting last week to let you know about some things that they're currently funding. We have 2 staff members who are recipients of their grant programs for library school. One has just been recently accepted and will start her studies this fall. The other is already significantly into the program, so we're very excited about that. The next thing kind of coming up for the Trust Fund Board is they're working to schedule a significant planning session to really talk about the trust fund and its growth and kind of how to manage that also, there will be involvement for the library advisory board and some other things, just to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page to support the libraries and hopefully see them grow and prosper. That's a little bit about what's been going on at BCPL since our last meeting.
Questions, comments?
Love the online meeting room booking. I was working actually, so I was a Wi-Fi use today at East and heard two people while I was there asking about the meeting rooms. And one of them said, I could probably just find this information online. And the answer was like, actually, not really. Well, yeah. Also, the summer learning, the PDF. We were on like item 10 or 11, my children. I did not tell them they only had 2, 4, because that's if they want to do everything, they want to pursue it. Yeah, we are, and we printed, that was an immediate impact, and having a list that they could like check things off of, so that was absolutely fantastic.
And really well, the sheet that the staff put together, it's really well done.
It's great. Oh, also the event at East was fantastic. Everybody else had it was great for the second year in a row. And the boys, once again, my children are 7. Once again, actually, while we were at East today, and it was like, "When they have that party here again, can we come back?" And it was like, "Of course we can." So well done on that too. For summer reading kickoff.
Yeah, there was a great turnout, great weather. It's a lot of fun.
The Wi-Fi stats you provided, that's also includes like people that just like if you connect if you're outside, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
I don't have a printout of the minutes on me to go over full business. Looking if there's anything we need to discuss from there. Here's. I guess full business, we just talked about that we would appoint new officers this meeting, but unfortunately we're able to because we do not have a quorum, so that will be moved on. So I guess be thinking if there's anyone you'd like to nominate, or if you want to take, become the chair yourselves.
Is there a deadline for us? Like, do we need to have a special meeting to do that before our next in person?
We just decided.
May need to be a special called meeting, depending on where things are in the process with, this is Keely's last meeting, so Keely's seat and also the one that's vacant. I will check in with the clerk to county commissioners and see what the status is there, but it's likely that we may need to do a special meeting, and that can be online to consider.
Yeah, because what happened is like I moved, so I'm not in 3 anymore. So like, technically right now we have 4 districts, 3 people staying on. But then there wasn't a, anyways, and then it was the person that we had in line for the 2. Returned to their application. That's what happened.
One thing that Stacy at the clerk and I talked about, she said that some of the other boards and commissions have worked with county legal and then saw approval from the county commissioners, have the bylaws changed to remove that district requirement because the lines tend to be redrawn. So she said that was something that once we're seated with these new folks and it's already in the process, we might want to discuss and then seek assistance to push forward on that. With the idea that still be mindful of making sure there's broad representation for the entire county when people are, but Stacy reports that has made things a lot easier for filling vacancies on other boards and commissions that were bound by district.
Which districts are open right now?
It'll be District 2. It is District 2. On to do business, that would have been discussing the open for the position, but we just did that. This is the full business. Sure, does anyone else has something they'd like to discuss? Questions?
I actually have a question. Is there a way that they can vote to approve the minutes digitally?
No, there has to be a president. Because there's a notice requirement that you have to give the public notice, and so that doing it digitally would be a separate meeting technically. And it would be harder. So if you want to schedule another meeting for next month in order to catch up, that's fine. Or you can just use your normally scheduled September
I think we've had to do that previously, where I had to sign two.
I think that was when it was a special.
Oh, you're right, that's right.
Keely, we need a new chair and co-chair. So we need, okay, with the co-chair. Does anyone else? So like, said they were interested in that, like, or is it guys, we're gonna all have to handle it. Okay.
Anyone else? No. Right. We're funny to call it this early, but we do have, well, we have to have a vote to call this meeting, no, we don't. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, everyone.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah, I love it.
already, yeah.